and that was important enough for the UK to accept this system. And therefore, this National Judicial Commission, of which I am also a supporter, like Mr. Acharya, but I won't develop my views very much here because these have been expressed elsewhere. The greatest merit of the National Judicial Commission is that it brings in transparency, which will enable the judges to be independent of themselves also. When Soli said a judge should be independent of his predilections, the most shining example is that of Justice Chinnappa Reddy, who was an atheist. And the fact that he was an atheist, did not deter him from understanding what religion was and to declare that the faith of Sri Aurobindo constituted a religion. That is one of the best examples, I think, of a judge being independent of himself. And all judges, therefore, have to cultivate this independence apart from being careful about executive interference. The next point, and I'll be brief because there must be time for the audience also to participate, is that it is not just governorships which are a threat to the independence of the judiciary or other sinecures, other appointments. Judges' independence is also compromised by their looking forward to careers and arbitrations. Let's not lose sight of that fact. If we think that judges are going to be compromised because they are looking forward to something else, it's not just in the government, but in arbitration. And therefore, judges become subservient to us lawyers, to the legal profession. Judges with careers in arbitration in view are tempted to be good to law firms. Surely that's also a serious threat. Similarly, this system of nominee arbitrators, which is part of our Arbitration Act, unfortunately, in our country, in our culture, is proving to be completely destructive of the independence of the judiciary. If we shouldn't think of judiciary only as the Supreme Court or the High Court, because after all, if alternative dispute resolution mechanisms are an important part of our justice system and we want to encourage people to move towards those systems, you need independent arbitrators. But what do we see in practice? Who are the retired Supreme Court judges whom ONGC or BHEL or other large public corporations, who are the judges to whom they would habitually turn? And let us ask ourselves, who are the judges to whom Reliance, SR, etc. would habitually turn? So this reliance on reliable judges is again something deeply pervasive and as destructive of the concept of the independence of the judiciary as any crude executive attempt either to interfere in a particular case, to send a message across, or to offer governorships. I leave you with these thoughts. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Raju. Thank you very much. But slight note of difference. I don't think in arbitrations, your major premise seems to be that all judges are pliable.
No, I don't say that.
Major premise seems to be. Because what's wrong if you appoint an arbitrator? You don't expect that they will favor firms, you may appoint them. But the point is, if there's a potential cause, a possibility, that should be avoided. I agree with you. Well, now I think you heard all of us. You've been very patient. I'm sure you want to really put a barrage of questions, but short questions and comment, because you're running short of time. So whoever wants to do it, and please identify yourself so we know who you are. Yes, gentleman there.
There is a proposed bill.
By the way, आपका नाम क्या? Identify yourself.
So in a bill that for proposed amendment and the bill, there are two eminent jurists are required. In a bill, it has been read for appointment of judges. There is a proviso given. Proviso says that among these two eminent jurists, one should be nominated from against the person belonging to the scheduled caste, the scheduled tribe, and other backward classes. This seems to be little fishy, that to please someone that there needs to be highlighted. For what reason that there is such a discrimination? The caste-based discrimination is there.
That's a good point. Yes, you made your comment. Frankly, as far as appointment of judges are concerned, I think this should not be there at all.
Yeah, because this seems to be please somebody else. If there is a transparency, then there should not be such kind of discrimination.
No. No. There can be another.
Matter of policy?
It is a matter of policy.
How can you policy?
I wanted a comment of Dias that what.
Yeah, you made your point.
No, but I want to be the devil's
I wanted a
advocate
comment from Dias, so other people should also be enlightened on this point. That what the Dias thinking about this proviso?
Yes, I think it is valid, and I want to say why.
Please, yeah. Who's speaking?
I wanted it from Dias.
All right.
I want to answer the question about
The comment.
one eminent person's position
Even
being
Jews
earmarked
distinguished Jews say?
for
Actually, the expression
SC,
is distinguished
ST,
in Constitution.
or minorities, or women. Please remember, it's not an SC/ST reservation so much as a reservation for minorities generally. And in my view, this is a very desirable provision because our judiciary at present lacks diversity. And if 3 judges who are on the Judicial Commission are from the higher judiciary, which itself lacks diversity, you have one law minister, you have one eminent person who's generally eminent, then to have a special provision for one person in the interests of diversity, I think is a desirable provision, and I think we should give it a fair chance to work to see whether it works properly or not.
Very well, that's it. Mr. Divan?
Sir? A comment on this particular provision.
Yes.
Why not a woman? Why ST?
I've always maintained that the President of the Bar Association of India is the most chivalrous person.
Sir, my name is Ram Gopal. I am an advocate from Kakinada, Andhra Pradesh.
From
Andhra Pradesh. My question is, there are inconsistent judgments of the recent Supreme Court on 138 of the Act and 14.1. Why don't we have a full bench and get a correct rule of law on 14.1 and Section 138 of the Negotiations Act?
Well, actually, that's a good point, but not exactly on the topic we are discussing.
But what I'm suggesting is, the members of the Supreme Court, judges of the Supreme Court, they are not consistent when delivering the judgments. That's I wanted a consistent judgment of the Supreme Court
If they
by
were
the judges.
consistent, laws won't make money. Yes? Well, Mike, there.
The judiciary or for the nation, because still the caste prejudices will again remain dominant. Hence,
Yes, anyone?
My name is Sachin Daswadikar. I came along with my senior Uday Varunjikar. My question is, when we say the
From
absolute...
where?
Mumbai,
बोला
Maharashtra.
ना था सर मुंबई बोला बराबर हाँ.
So my question is, when we say that the supremacy of judiciary, whether it should be an absolute supremacy, and what about the check and balance system as well as the control mechanism in the judicial systems?
Okay. Well, I think we had a very interesting discussion and we could go on till midnight because the topic is of such a nature that there will be various complexions about it, various facets. But as I said, ultimately, you may have a collegium system, you may have the commission system, but the independence of the judiciary should not directly or indirectly be affected. And that is something we should be determined to preserve. Because without an independent judiciary, all your fundamental rights and rule of law becomes meaningless. So let's strengthen the judiciary, strengthen the mechanisms which give us more able judges, better equipped judges, judges who are fit for appointment. But as I said, any institution can never be perfect. There will be some deficiencies. My view is, give it a fair trial and see how it is, rather than proceed to prejudgment. That's my view. Well, I would thank every one of you for being very patient and coming here. And now tea is waiting for you, and please enjoy yourselves.
Sir, hello.
Thanks to the chair.
Hello, sir. I'm.
Please, the tea is waiting outside and down also. And I will request any of the panelists, if they are going to leave after the right now, I will request them to kindly spare a few minutes and intermingle with the students who are on the ground floor, and some of them are here also.